So today, this is Bob Nivola's, the tail section of a VFR?
Yep.
Okay, and it's cracked, broken inside.
Yeah.
And we got to basically over here make a tab. Is that what we have to do?
Tab over here and tabs here. See how these come out?
Yes,
this
okay.
attaches to it. That we have two up here that are broken.
Okay, well,
And they broke because this broke. This put
yeah,
pressure on everything.
exactly. Okay, so the first thing I want to get the tape off. Let me get a hairdryer and take the tape off. The most fun of all is this tab. It's a lot like Vlad's Benelli. This tab has to be recreated from scratch. This one, luckily, Bob has the piece. So here's what I'm trying to share with my friends here. If you have this similar thing where it is a broken tab, as hokey as it may be, try to save the piece. Just like when you crash a model plane, save the pieces. It's going to make putting this tab back together about 100 times easier if we don't have to recreate this from a piece of carbon fiber. Mm-hmm. So, okay, and this piece actually holds the whole thing together. This is
right. This is the main piece that holds it together, but all these little
yeah. I see. It's
this, like I said, this holds this. This holds this.
That's going to be a challenge, but nothing we can't do here. We're using aircraft grade 4-ounce carbon, and you can pretty much see what we did. We reinforced the tab. This is one he had the little piece for, so it made it easy. We just laminate on a piece of this, a couple layers of the thin CA on both sides. That's done. Now to do this one, we got to recreate that piece, which is a little trickier, but we have a piece of O-Pee-Chee wood that we can use for a form, and then we'll just fill it in with carbon. That won't be a problem at all.
And then use that as a template for this.
Yeah. Okay, this tab we used a little piece of O-Pee-Chee wood, and now we're going to take a piece of carbon. We're going to fit it in there. We're going to re-drill a hole, of course. Just fill that whole area with carbon fiber, and that should be. This is a tab we didn't have to create a part for, and one we are just creating an extra part for. So just let me interrupt you. This is tab 2. We have the rough material, the 4-ounce carbon on there. We're just going to let this kick off, then I'm going to sand. Just the beauty of this system is you just sand the edge, and it gives you an edge like that. And then I'm going to put a couple more layers in here just to build up the thickness, and then sand it flat so it comes to this thickness. And this is something we've done on previous videos on Vlad's Benelli as just one example, and many other bikes. So if you really are interested in this, there's some restoration, plenty of it out there. I don't need to run a half-hour video of. All the tabs on, I think there's 6 or 8 tabs on this have to be done. Yep. That one's got to be done.
This one here.
This one here, two more.
And
there's one here. One here. That's not it.
That's it. Oh, and this, yeah. This one we've done. This one already, and now, 4 of them.
Okay, so by the time we do this 4 times, Bob will be an expert, and if you need tabs done, don't call us for electrical work, but we can do tabs. And the other 2 on the other side are basically going to be similar, the same as this. These are carbon fiber just like the Benelli. I think they're probably 10 times stronger. In fact, this one's reinforced with O-Pee-Chee wood. We're going to re-drill the holes, and I'll spot them from the back. I have a Dremel tool, a special Dremel tool. It cuts through carbon nice and clean. Vlad knows all about it because I was going to do his teeth one day. He had complaining he had a cavity. Anyway, and now these are going to be the same, so we're not going to just waste everybody's time. This one will be exactly the same. If they were visible, we'll throw a coat of red paint on it. And then we're going to assemble. We're basically going to assemble the whole thing here and make sure everything's solid, right?
Now, could you strengthen a tab?
Yep, of course. Well, when we're done, we'll strengthen everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we'll use up all our scrap carbon, and it's always nice. We did. By the way, we did this to this. Vlad doesn't. There's the part right here. This is the one. I don't want to touch it. I got grease on my hands. But this one here, this Benelli, that has been all reinforced many times, and it had broken tabs. I think this is the broken. I don't remember. We'll look at it later when I get. See, that stuff that's on my hand. I don't want to get it on there, but. So this is basically a basic 101 repair. Carbon fiber is available. E-glass is just as good. I just happen to have scraps. This is the material. This is Brodac brand cyanoacrylates. This is the word. It's called CA, available from hobby shops. I get mine from Brodac. This he got his Solar Zap. I don't think there's much of a difference other than the fact the Brodac stuff is always fresh. But anyway, we're basically going to do this. And an hour from now, Bob is going to be in the VFR heaven. We'll put the Benelli parts on. As a precaution, because we've reinforced these two, this is the one that potentially will be the next one to break. So while we have all the material out, I'll just run a piece, I'll sand it, run a piece of carbon fiber on there, that'll reinforce it. And actually, when I was riding behind you Sunday, I noticed when you hit a bump, this whole back end was flat. Well, it was loose from the duct tape too. But it looked like all this stuff was just jumping around. I was wondering if it was just beating itself to death.
Well, that's how it's designed. Bad.
Was it done from Japan like that?
Yeah, Honda hired Ducati engineers to make this thing.
It's all. They might be Ducati. Maybe they hired me to do it. That one is all. I think we got this part done. We've got those, just except for we have a carbon burr to drill those out. We'll do that last.
And that's strengthened.
That's if you break that now.
I'll be, yeah.
No, that's solid.
If I break that, they're picking me up off of the ground.
We'll be gluing you to the seat of the bike or something.
I'll be going on 106 oil spill.
Here. Make a pattern of this piece, because we're missing this piece here. And they're using colored paper. Just draw this out from the back roughly. It doesn't have to be exact. You don't see this. Okay, so that's the shape of the piece we need to make. So what we'll do first is cut a piece of O-Pee-Chee wood and then just reinforce the other side with carbon. Should be pretty easy.
Yep.
That's what they said about the captain of the Titanic said, we can cross the Atlantic.
We'll cross the Atlantic, be pretty easy.
Don't worry, that iceberg, don't worry.
We've never hit an iceberg before.
Yep, or again. All right, now we just use a little piece of O-Pee-Chee wood and do this. Let's see, here we go. Here's the O-Pee-Chee wood. We'd like the grain going in that dimension, so we can use that. O-Pee-Chee wood is what they use a lot in model aviation. All the guys, my friends that are modelers, will be laughing that I'm saying this, but a lot of the motorcycle guys don't know what some of this stuff is. So that's our part. That's our pattern. You wouldn't think O-Pee-Chee wood is this strong, but believe me, it is. When it's soaked with thin CA, you're going to have a lot of trouble breaking this when it's carbon fibered up. And it doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to be exactly that shape. Let's see if we got it almost right. It's a little oversized. I guess we should leave it over. No, let's cut it a little bit down. We're close. Close enough.
Better too big than too small.
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to have a little material. I can always grind it or sand it down. So now we can take this piece, put this away, put this one on this side, and let's see what we got. Look at that, baby.
Look at that, baby.
Okay, simple. Now I would have to sand this down, glue this in place, and then this acts as a barrier. I just cover this side with carbon fiber, wrap some around the corner here, even though that's going to be overkill, and then we'll spot the hole off of the hole that we can pick up off the other part. Should be pretty straightforward.
Excellent.
And then the Titanic went down. You can get the idea of how that looks. The O-Pee-Chee wood is in place. Now we're going to lay some carbon on the inside, some on the outside, and we'll be ready. And I'll make a pattern for where the hole is on the other side and go right around that. And what's the other one? There's another one on this shift.
That's this one.
Oh, and that one too. That's basically the same thing, and then we'll put a little red paint on there just in case somebody,
some VFR expert comes by.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going to show everybody where you... That one's done on both sides. It's carbon on that side, carbon on that side. That actually looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it does. Looks very good.
Wow. Very cool. Now we got one more. Where's the last one?
The last one...
Oh, is that the reinforced one?
That's the one here, yeah.
Okay, so I'll put a backer in there, and we'll just fill the back with carbon. No problem.
Yep.
And then it'll be...
Then we'll drill it out. Then we'll be ready to put it back
step
together.
one is the butt joint. That's on there now.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm going to trim this and then lay the carbon in there and then sand it down to a nice finish.
I'm amazed about that butt joint.
But
two things I love in life.
We could do another butt joint while I got some extra glue.
I love butt joints and yoga pants.
But speaking of yoga pants, she said she's going to come over to your house when your wife is home. The first layer of carbon glued on there. That glue is going to set. And the way we trim it is just sand it. You don't even need to cut it, you sand it, and it makes a relatively nice edge. And then all we have to do on the other side is paint it red. Do you see the other side at all? Is that on the bottom?
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
Okay, but we'll just put a drop of red paint on
like
it.
This.
Okay, just so if if you fall down and you look up, and we all fall down.
Somebody will bend over and go, "Oh, where did Wendy work?
Oh,
you missed a spot."
Yeah, I'm gonna sue him. Basically, we are done with everything except drilling the holes and then reassembling it. We're reinforced. Hopefully, will not ever break again. I don't see anything else in here that looks flimsy, or it would have broken already.
Right, right.
Well, let's drill a hole. Let me get the burr. We have a special burr that goes on a Dremel tool. It just goes burn. It actually doesn't drill a hole. It burns it through. It always impresses Vlad when I do it to his expensive Benelli parts.
Yeah, his Benelli.
Bob made a beautiful pattern for spotting the hole so we get this angle just right. And when we turned it over, I put my finger behind it, and Bob pushed the awl down, and of course welded my finger. There's still blood on the end of that. Wow. Okay, but that is lined up good. Okay, do we got to do this with any other ones?
Yes, one more.
Okay, no, I mean a hole. I'll drill a hole now.
Well,
that's
yeah,
just a starter hole.
Right, we have one, two. Professional job I've ever seen in my life. I would say.
Oh, it's better than that. That's a pizza pie worth eating, baby. I'm impressed. Luciano will be impressed because he works with this old stuff all the time, too.
Oh, my God. What a pain in the ass, though.
What a job. But it's all reinforced. It's all carbonized. That is ready.
That's not going anywhere.
And even Glenn will be impressed. I know Glenn knows how to do this now, but Glenn, you should be impressed. This was a good job.
It was a very good job.
Very, very, very nice job.
Well, it wasn't more than like a 5 swear word job.
No, nobody lost a fingertip. I usually get some blood on that when I do it. Anyway, all you got to do is go home, put it back together, and we'll see you at Choppers.
It goes on in 4 bolts, 6 bolts.
Beautiful.
Bing, bing, bing.
All right, so say goodnight, Glenn.
Good night, Glenn.
Good night, Glenn. Good night, Luciano. Good night. How happy is this guy, Karen? I got my VFR seat done. Wow. It's done, baby. It's done.
It was Japanese origami with a little bit of Italian.
Wow, mighty. This really was a pain in the ass job, but it's done.
Well, it's supposed to just look like this.
Okay.
Okay, but all these 2 long pieces are held by a puzzle of Japanese engineering back here.
That's why they didn't win the war.
Yeah, that's why
they designed that crap, and we were doing P-51s.
That is Windy engineering.
You can't do better than that.
Yeah, no, you can't do better than that.